It's been a long time since I experienced an album that was this positive. And I don't mean an album that was this good, but one where every track just made me smile and felt upbeat. The pacing of some may be more mellow, but there's still a general tone of happiness. This kind of makes sense because the album is called Fine and Dandy. This was Debbie Reynolds' album released in 1960, released by Dot Records, and there are a good number of tracks on this one. I think about 15, give or take. And for me, each one just feels really positive. Now, some of them I have specific thoughts about, by which I mean I really love them. The rest of them, I don't have anything specific to say, but I still find them really, really pleasing, really enjoyable. From start to finish, this album puts me in a good mood. Some of the songs put me in a really good mood. So I'll go through the titles, share some thoughts where possible, but I don't have, because I feel like most of the songs kind of blend into one another really nicely, which makes it a really pleasing listening experience with a very, a very steady mood. It's not an emotional roller coaster like some albums. This is just a very steady, nice, pleasant listen with a couple of songs that are maybe a little bit more entertaining. But I'll go through the titles, say a few thoughts here and there. But generally speaking, if you are looking for an album, a Debbie Reynolds album that is upbeat enough, but not, it's not intensely upbeat. It's an easy listen. It's simple as that. It's easy listening of the finest kind that will make you indeed feel fine and dandy. The first song is A Shine on My Shoes, which I think is a really nice way to start this off. I would say this is a very middle of the road track with what to expect on this one. It's not one of my favourites, but I do like it. It's a good example of everything to follow. Having said that, everything on this is an example of the rest of the album. It's very, very well organised. You're the cream in my coffee. I love. I think this one definitely shows off her vocal abilities really well. Not so much because there's a lot of range to it, but I just feel like it's very easy to hear her voice against the music. The melody is absolutely beautiful. Of course, the lyrics are great, and I always want coffee. I mean, I always want coffee anyway, but listening to this one with a cup of coffee, listening to the album, and having a lovely, relaxing, I don't know, 40 minutes or however long the album is just pure bliss. I cannot fault it. Sing Something Simple doesn't really move me too much, and the same is Ain't We Got Fun. Give Me the Simple Life, I really like. And the song itself is kind of a nice message for the whole album. It's all about, you know, just going with the flow, stripping things back to basics, enjoying life, being around people you love, people who mean something to you, and just allowing yourself to be happy. The next song is, I think, one of maybe two songs that I'd heard of previously, and this is Zip-A-Dee-Doo-Dah, which is definitely easily the most upbeat track on this one, and needless to say, it's a very popular song, a very classic song. Some people think it's a very controversial song, which arguably, yes, it is. But the message, again, what a wonderful feeling, a wonderful day. It's just, it's positive. That's the word I've been looking for. This is a very positive album. There's no sorrow. Nobody is crying after a loved one or contemplating their lot in life. It's just about accepting what you've got, making the best of things, and having a very positive outlook, which for me, as a generally pessimistic person, is something I can take a lot out of and try and work with. The titular track, Fine and Dandy, is not my favourite. Often the title tracks are strongest, the most impressive, or the most popular. I like it. I Want to Be Happy. I think actually I Want to Be Happy might be, I'm going to enunciate that better. I Want to Be Happy is probably for me the most generic on this one that would appeal to the widest amount of people. This probably should have been the title track, but I do like the name Fine and Dandy as an album name. I think it works really well. But I Want to Be Happy is probably the second most upbeat one. It's very motivational, it's very encouraging. Debbie Reynolds sounds absolutely fantastic. And then flipping that, Give a Little Kiss, Will Ya, Huh? Is a brilliant title and a lot of fun to say. It's a bit more gentle. a little bit softer. Um, it's not give me a little kiss, will you, huh, in a pleading, desperate, I miss you kind of way. It's more of a, I quite like you. Give me a kiss, why don't you? Um, that sounded more predatory than I expected it to, but I like it a lot. Pick Yourself Up doesn't move me too much, but I do like Life is Just a Bowl of Cherries. And in terms of vocal performance, this is another fantastic one for Debbie Reynolds. I think it suits her voice really well. In fact, who am I kidding? All of the songs do. What can she not sing? I doubt there's anything. To say she never actually had vocal lessons until she was at Warner, maybe not even until she was at MGM properly. That car horn outside clearly disagrees. It is absolutely is astounding. A natural talent, if ever there was one. She's phenomenal. And the last song is Gotta Have Me Go With You, which to end an album is fine. It's not ending on a high for me. It's not one of my favorite songs. But usually when I'm listening to this, I have it on repeat. So that kind of blends into a shine on my shoes, and then we go back to the cream in my coffee, and I have a jolly good time with it. It does lift up my mood, it does make me feel better about my lot in life, and it does make me appreciate the small things. It's rare that I get that kind of very specific emotional response from an album as a whole. Usually, I will feel that maybe from a particular song, but the song selection here is fantastic. Everything feels perfect together. Everything works really well. I can't fault it. Obviously, Debbie's performance is beautiful, absolutely exquisite. Still a very young voice here. Um, she would have been 30. Oh, goodness, I don't want to overage her. Early 30s, let's go with that. Still quite a young voice. As she aged, her voice became a lot deeper and a lot huskier. But she still has quite a fresh, buoyant voice here. Of course, her vocal talents never went away, always remained amazing, but definitely quite a fresh, light energy throughout this. Fine and dandy. I don't think it's my favorite Debbie Reynolds album in terms of the song selection, but in terms of how this is not effortlessly, in terms of how easily the songs all blend together and how well the album works as a whole, definitely very strong, fine and dandy. It's an absolute treat.